Good morning, everybody. It's Lindsey Huddleston back in the building with another SPS Monday Motivation. Hope you had a great weekend. I had a great weekend. It was fun-filled. You know, it's graduation time, so you got open houses and all that. And I went to two open houses. Shout out to Chris Lulis, father of Chaz Lulis, my guy. Chaz is heading on to the University of San Diego to play basketball. And also, shout out to the Spratt family, Tony Spratt, D Spratt, and of course, Tyler Spratt was able to go be part of his graduation festivities. Had a really huge event. Family was out. It was nothing but love. I was happy to participate in this experience, using SPS to promote what's going on, but also being part of that family for both Tyler and Chaz, two young men I've known for several years, and I'm very happy for them. I'm happy for all their fellow graduates going on to the next part of their life. And here's a message that can be used for them going forward as they make their transition, but also for us in our everyday life. And that is, let me say good morning to my brother Kevin Marshall. Good morning, my brother, right back at you. I know you are all deep in graduation festivities because you're so rooted in your community, so you're seeing your young people going forward. So what the message is today, Kevin, is your consistency determines your frequency. Okay, where are you going with this, Lindsey? Your consistency determines your frequency. What I want to talk about is vibrations and energy. And the law of vibration, which is a fundamental law of the universe that states that everything in existence vibrates to a certain frequency. Now, I believe in this. What's funny, I think this is something that people believe in as need be when they want to. But I think it's something that we all need to think about because we can always point to things on a regular basis that reflect that. So what does this include? It includes physical objects, thoughts, emotions, and even the energy that surrounds us. I was around some great positive energy this weekend. Also hung out with my frat brothers. Shout out to the Detroit Alphas in the golf outing, but I got to be with my Sands and my frat brother Rod Wilson, Mato Allen, Stephen Banks. Me and Steve go all the way back to high school. We got to see our former high school teacher as well, but that was a good time. So in both occasions, and all three occasions of the events I participated in, I was around great positive energy. Now, I know that every weekend can't be a golf outing. Every weekend can't be a graduation party. That's why these are moments that you take and you make a mental note and you deposit these things so when it's time, you can focus on that. So let's talk a little bit more about the law of vibration. The law of vibration suggests that when you emit positive energy, you attract positive experiences. And when you emit negative energy, you attract negative experiences. Seems pretty straightforward. Pretty elementary, but we kind of lose thought of that. If you want to think about it, you know, when you find yourself in a great frame of mind, it's probably because of the things you're doing and the energy you keep putting into that because of these positive thoughts. And one thing we do, we start going down that rabbit hole. When something's negative, we start thinking about it more and more and compounding it, and this negative thought ends up becoming a reality with what we have going on. We're talking about vibrational energy. Vibrational energy experts claim that certain emotions and thought patterns such as joy, peace, and acceptance create high frequency vibrations. We just talked about joy a few weeks ago, the idea of finding joy. But if you kind of stay in that mindset, that'd be good. Now, the other part of that, what's on the other side? While other feelings and mindsets such as anger, despair, and fear, they have us vibrate at a lower level. So when we get caught up with being mad and feeling fearful about what's happening and having this despair, that's what happens as well. I got Michelle Mimi Walker's in the building. Good morning. How are you? Hope you had a great weekend. It's always good to see you. Thanks for checking in, Michelle. We're talking about your consistency determines your frequency. That's right. We got to be consistent out here. We got to be consistent with our thoughts. And my suggestion is that you want to be consistent with positive thoughts, right? Because if you're consistent with negative thoughts, you're going to get those bad returns. Consistency is the key. You got to think about it over and over again. Now, mind you, like I said, every weekend can't be a big event, but it doesn't mean that you can't take those thoughts and you can't say, man, I had such a great time last weekend. That was cool, and stay in that mindset. And we seem to have this internal battle with ourselves when it comes to these things. Kevin says, this is deep, but so true. Never sat back and thought about it. It's powerful, man. It's powerful. We have so much control. And I think what happens, Kevin, our social groups play such a role. I shared when I posted about the golf weekend, when the golf outing, that we had it was a therapy session, it was a comedy session, it was a scholarly discussion, it was all these things. But never did I say it was a negative session. Never did I say it was us dogging each other or talking about each other. Now we may clown each other, and what I say, a few weeks ago, we may talk shit, but we don't talk slick. You may talk trash, but you don't talk slick and undermining with this. See, so many times we're prisoners to our thoughts because of the people we with. You let these same people come with that negative energy all the time, and you sit there and you bask in it, and you wonder why you can't increase your vibrational level. Let's talk about what that even looks like. Yes, the vibrational energy chart. Yeah, look at this. The lower vibrations, shame, when you're dealing in those experiences. Now, these are all natural experiences that we have, but it doesn't mean you have to stay there. You're not wrong for feeling shame or feeling guilt or apathy or grief or fear. You're not wrong, but it's when we stay there. It's when we don't do things to break this cycle, because we want to increase our vibration by thinking about things. As you move from the lower level vibrational things, desire and anger start bringing you up. Pride. You want to get to courage. You see, and that's when you see the change. When you have the courage to embrace things. And then you get to this level of neutrality. Then you get to this willingness, and then there's acceptance, there's reason, and then we get to these higher vibration, characteristics of love, joy, peace, and enlightenment. And enlightenment is the ultimate. Enlightenment is when you're floating, you're just out there. Let me give another visual, because we all learn differently. We see things. Here's another visual. How does this help you? This may help you. See, in the lower level, let's just cut them in half. You got fear and you got love. We can recognize those emotions. But then on the lower level, again, you got shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride, courage, neutrality, willingness, acceptance, reason, love, joy, peace, and again, enlightenment. But also, when you're on a lower level, a low vibration, things are contracting as opposed to expanding. You're kind of thinking about what I don't have compared to what I do. And we can easily get stuck in those things. But I think it's important that we keep these things in mind and go back and look at those things and how we can get away from that. Also, let's talk about how do we do this. The first step to applying the law of vibration in your life is to become aware of your thoughts and emotions. I talk about that with all my clients that I work with, my sports psychology clients, just in general. Be aware of your emotions. Sometimes we have these emotions going on. We don't want to acknowledge it. We don't want to be aware of it. We don't want to just face the reality. But also, even if it's a bad emotion, it's okay to be aware of it. The goal is not to have negative thoughts. That's impossible. The goal is not to stay in those thoughts. Difference. The goal is not to have bad thoughts, because life is such, you can see something that comes to mind, you can see something that's not pleasing to the eye, that bothers you, that disturbs you. But the key is saying, okay, how do I get myself to thinking about something positive? How do I go back to that weekend when I played golf with my guys and we had a great time? How do I go back to celebrating these young men and these young women at their open houses and their graduations? You have to be proactive in that. Also, pay attention to the energy that you're putting into the world and notice if it's positive or negative. What are you putting out there? Huh? Are you putting out negative? Are you a walking toxicity individual where everything coming out your mouth is negative and your energy is bad? So what do you expect to get back? If you got some issues that you haven't really resolved, some jealousy, some hate, and you just really, that person always happy. See, that's negativity, so you wonder why you stay in that space. If you find yourself having negative thoughts or emotions, try to shift your focus to something positive. But here's the key. A lot of y'all don't want to come out of them negative thoughts, because it's like being inside or under the covers on a rainy day. You get in that rut and you scooch down, if that's a word, and you just say, I'm just going to stay right here, because we don't have the desire to flip that switch I talk about. That morning switch, flip that switch to say, I'm going to start thinking about things in a positive way. This individual has a theory, the principle of consistency. Cialdini's principle of consistency states the following things, and I'm going to get you out of here, guys. Once people make a decision and take a stand to perform an action, they will face an interpersonal pressure to behave in a consistent manner with what they have said or done. So once you put yourself out there, what you going to do? You going to stay negative or you going to stay positive? Also, consistency is an adaptive behavior, right? That has been very beneficial. Doing certain things always in the same way and making a decision according to the same values help us survive in a complex world. What are your principles? What makes you come back to it? Is that consistency getting up in the morning, taking a walk, going to the gym? Is that consistency your morning devotion, your morning meditation, whatever it may be? Is that consistency and reaching out to your loved ones? By doing it, it's an adaptive behavior. So whatever it is you've been doing, even if you're not getting the results you want. It's all about how consistent you need to be with doing it. We have so much control over our lives. I thought this was another good one to look at too. I saw this on social media late last night. It says most people aren't jealous of things you have or even the way you look. It's always the energy, your aura, your electricity, the vibe you emit. It shakes them up and it awakens dormant frequencies that remind them that they can be better but choose not to. You got them shook, fam. Keep going. Yeah, in many cases, you don't even know that you're vibing at a high level until you come in contact with someone who's low vibration. You ever walk into the room or walk into a restaurant or walk into a store and you can just feel it shift. It can either be up or down, but you shouldn't let those others impact you. And yet, if people haven't worked through their own issues to where they want to hate on you for feeling good about yourself, for being consistent and always doing things that are impressive, then so be it. But hey, I think back to the fun time I had with this group of people right here. That's the Spratt family. None but love. Happy to be part of that family. Got to celebrate Tyler. So you got to celebrate Chris Lulis's family with Chaz Lulis. I think back to those times when it's high energy. Yeah, we can't have a party every day of the week, but you can always think about something positive. You can always work yourself to be in a consistent frame of mind when you're thinking about something positive. So my hope is for this to help you guys today. It should be a great week. Looking forward to some great things happening. We are getting full into summer. I want you guys to be safe out there, but just continue to be consistent and remember that your consistency determines your frequency. We want high level vibrations, high energy. And with that, you can accomplish anything you want and live a great life. Appreciate you guys. I want to wish you the best. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Peace.